If you were running the Intel Committee right now, either as chair or ranking member, what questions would you be asking about what is happening in the waters off Venezuela? And would you even get a briefing? Because as the Democrat on that panel, from what I understand now, you still would not have heard from the administration.
Well, I think Mark Warner has said they got very unsatisfying briefings.
Yeah.
He was the chair. He's now the ranking member on the Senate side. I'm not sure what's happened on the House side. But what would I be doing? I would be raising hell. I think Congress not only has a right to be briefed, but I think Congress is abdicating its role. I would give good marks to 3 Republicans, at least that I can think of. Rand Paul, I guess he's a libertarian. Yeah. Roger Wicker, chair of the Senate Armed Services Committee, and Mike Rogers, who chairs the House Armed Services Committee. And they have been pushing back. But where's the rest of Congress? Congress is on trial here, and Congress is really on trial with respect to Ukraine. That's why I wore my scarf carried back from Kyiv.
Yeah, well, I'd like to get into that in a moment because these are both evolving, both of these stories before our eyes here.
The IG report,
Well, there's another one for you. But in terms of the admiral who ordered this second strike, based on what you understand, what's he going to tell these committees when he goes to testify tomorrow? How damaging could that be for the administration?
I think he should have followed the advice of the 6 Democrats who said never follow an illegal order.
You believe that was an illegal order?
I believe it was, and I believe he should have known that. I'm not sure what he did. Let's be sure we know what the timeline is. It's a little bit, to me, eye-scratching to believe that Hegseth didn't give the order and was too busy to see it executed in a case like this.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
What did you make of that yesterday?
Well,
Pentagon's a busy place. I had to get to a meeting, he said.
Yeah, it is a busy place. And maybe he needs to get a little busier about being on top of the workload there. Wow. Just saying that rumors are rampant. It doesn't mean they're true, that his days are numbered, and that Trump maybe doesn't want to do the deal personally and wants it somehow to evolve. But I think he's not well liked in the building. He's not well respected. And I think former military, and I talked to lots of them, are really pretty worried about the civilian leadership at the Pentagon.
A lot of folks pointed out the fact that he was not sent to Kyiv or Russia, for that matter. The Army Secretary was in Kyiv, Dan Driscoll, talking with Ukrainians. But we're still waiting, Jane, for a readout on this meeting with Vladimir Putin. And I want everyone to hear first what Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, had to say about this negotiation in the president's cabinet meeting yesterday. Let's listen.
Every day is a challenge, but it's been driven personally by the president. It's the reason why we're involved in this whole Ukraine-Russia conflict. That's not our war. It's not the president's war. This war started. It never would have happened if you'd been president. Even as we speak to you now, Steve Witkoff is in Moscow trying to find a way to end this war, to save lives of 9,000 people, Mr. President, as you know, are dying every week. More people are dying a week in that war than have died in the entirety of the U.S.'s involvement in Afghanistan or Iraq. Just think about that, how bloody and destructive it is.
But here's what we've not heard from the White House. Anything about the meeting. The Russians have said a lot, but there's no readout from the administration, which is extremely unusual. How do you read into it?
Well, a couple of comments. First about Rubio. I was in Halifax at the Halifax Security Forum a couple of weekends ago when the CODEL, led by Jeanne Shaheen, but also having Republican members, got a call that evening, the evening that the 28-point plan surfaced, from Rubio saying, well, it's just a draft. It's not cooked yet. Yep. He wasn't in the room. He had nothing to do with it, or probably had nothing to do with it. And I think it's dead on arrival. I mean, I brought some props. I don't want to surprise you. But this was from Senator Mitch McConnell when that plan was released. Quote, Putin has spent the entire year trying to play President Trump for a fool.
This is a tweet, right?
This is a tweet from Mitch McConnell on X. And this one was from Roger Wicker, whom I just mentioned as chair of the Senate Armed Services Committee. Quote, any suggestion that we can pursue arms control with a serial liar and killer like Putin should be treated with great skepticism, unquote. So I think that Rubio's trying to make his best case. He is the Secretary of State. He is the one who should be leading the negotiations. This other team, I'm not saying they're terrible people. I'm sure they're trying to make a deal, and wouldn't it be nice for the war to end? But let's remind everybody that Russia was the aggressor and Ukraine is the victim.
Yes.
And rewarding Russia and punishing Ukraine is the wrong outcome.
Well, everything in that plan looks like it would be a reward, right?
Well,
so what, do you trust Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner running this conversation?
Well, I don't want to talk about trust, but the plan as explained to me looked like there was some oops in there. There was some bad translation from the Russian. Looks like exactly what Mitch McConnell said, that Putin is playing Trump. And if we're not talking about it, then I'm betting nothing very much good came today, except for Russia blasting Europe. Right. And threatening, some action against Europe. The sadness is NATO's meeting today. Rubio has, for the first time in this century or something,
What do you make of this?
Blown off.
He sent a deputy.
I think it's a message to NATO.
Yeah.
And it's
that means Russia or Europe will have no input on how this ends.
It's
with Russia.
a very bad. Well, let's see.
Yeah.
It's a very bad message to NATO. We're a member of NATO. We're not a bystander here. We're a leader of NATO. And I think that's a terrible message. And one more point. I said Congress is on trial. Congress is on trial. There is a Graham-Blumenthal bill to impose secondary sanctions on all countries, all.
Isn't Lindsey Graham talking to Trump about this on the golf course?
That deal with Russia.
Yeah.
It has 85 plus co-sponsors in the Senate. That is a veto-proof majority, which means if Lindsey Graham, I'm sure Blumenthal would like to do this, calls up that bill, that bill passes. And it will, I'm guessing, pass the House too. And then that is real pressure on Putin. Is Congress for Ukraine, or is Congress just, again, hiding and out of the game, the Republicans in Congress?